Hi everyone. Well, right now we're going to do our finished flooring plan demo. So, first things first. First, you have to go ahead and once again, perfect drafting, put that beautiful floor plan on the upper left-hand corner of your title block. Next, don't forget your title, finished flooring plan, great architectural lettering, underlined with the scale. And we also need our north arrow. So here is our plan. Once again, like in the lectures, we want to talk about first things first, you have to select your flooring. I am requiring that you have 3 floors, 3 different kind of floorings. One has to be carpet, a tile of some sort, and then whatever the other is your choice. But we need 3 different kinds of flooring just so that we can create some interest in this space. So that's what you have to do. So here, let's say I have some flooring. Maybe I want this in my living room, and I'm going to put this in my restroom. I can certainly have more than that, but I at least need 3. And I don't have a carpet sample with me, but let's say I had a carpet sample. So first you have to have your flooring and decide where is it going to go. And as I said in the lecture, it's important that we decide where our transitions are. So as I look at my space, I know that I'm going to have a transition here and one here. Okay, so I put a line there. These are the restrooms because in these restrooms, they are going to have tile. Now, my bedrooms are going to have carpet, but my hallway is not. So I'm going to have a transition right here and a transition right here. Okay. Now, I have decided to use a vinyl wood flooring for the rest of the space because, as I said in the demo, the vinyl wood flooring, this commercial grade vinyl luxury vinyl plank, I love it. It's great. I just put this in an office. I'm going to put this in my kitchen and all the way through my dining and my living room. But that's just what I'm going to do. Now, you have to make sure all of these floorings are, all your transitions are there. So I said you must put carpet in one of the rooms. I'm putting it in both bedrooms. So carpet has to have a certain little hatch. And how we create carpet, we do a little dots. It's called a stipple. And this gives us the idea of carpet. Okay, so I'm going to stipple this and give myself some carpet. And you don't have to overdo it, just a few little here and there. Now, I'm also going to have different flooring in here and here. Flooring will require a different hatch. Now, I need to put call outs on this flooring. So before I get you crazy with the hatches, it's important that we know what we're calling out. So place a square on your flooring and give it a special call out. Now, if you have a restroom and it's too small in here, you can even pull this out side the drawing and you can do what we call a leader line. See, I pulled that and I can actually put a little dot on the end and it shows that that is a certain kind of flooring. Okay, because it's so small. Sometimes we pull out those call outs on the outside. And I decide what this is going to be. This is a very thick pin, but let's say this is carpet 1. I put C1. I put C1. Okay, stands for carpet 1. Over here, I might put W1 for wood. And here I might put tile 1 for tile and another tile. Okay, now if you have more than 3 floorings, that's perfectly fine. Just list your floorings, okay? Then you know your different call outs. So at the very minimum, you need 3. So now we have our call outs. Now let's get to the design of things. I have decided that I'm going to put this cute little porcelain tile inside this bathroom. I may have a different one. You can still design it without having the call out. So here I'm going to create a hatch that just looks just like this. And it's just a nice little checkerboard. This is going to be my floor pattern design. There you go. See that checkerboard? That tells the installer how to install that piece. If I wanted to do the same tile but at an angle, I would show it at a diagonal. And that's how they would install it. And this is why we create a finish flooring plan to begin with. This is all about how to show the installer of where the flooring goes and how it goes, how it's installed. So I might want to do this particular one at an angle. Do you see? So I am creating a floor pattern here. So this is a great way to just show what floor goes where and make sure that you get the right direction of how you want your tile and design. Now here I'm doing a wood plank. So first I have to decide what direction will that wood go into. And I've decided when you walk in, I would like it to go the lengthwise. It makes the room seem longer and you don't use, excuse me, as much material. So you will create many little planks. And you want to kind of create them to scale. And now I have created some horizontal lines for some wood planking. You don't have to do the entire room. You could do what we call vignetting, where you kind of let it fade into one room and fade into the other. This gives the indication and shows that where it's located. Plus you have your call out tag. You could put them in that same call out in different areas just to make sure that the installer knows the wood goes through the whole space. As you do these vertical lines, then you want to create, and always use your straight edge. I'm not able to do that right now, but then you want to create little planks. And I always do my planks just like a real flooring. And this really creates a cool, do you see how it's starting to look like wood flooring? And as you start to vignette, you want to really kind of create this kind of wood planking, kind of in a brick pattern, kind of staggered here. And pretty soon you've got this very cool flooring. And this is how we want to do this in the whole space of all the areas that you do have it vignetted. And then you let it kind of fade out. Do you see? Looks really cool. Now you are welcome to do the whole thing if you like. And you also might want to add some type of texture to the space, like actually putting like a little wood grain with a very fine Sharpie pencil here and there. And that can look very cool too. So as you start adding wood grain, that creates even more interest to this finished floor plan. Now, once you get this accomplished, you have all your flooring in, you have all your call outs, and you have your transition lines. Now here, I almost forgot, I definitely want to add this flooring kind of into the hallway so they know what's going on here. So I would probably like to get this flooring in here too. You know, we can't forget where it is all going. So we don't want any questions for the installer. So he knows, oh, that flooring's going right there in the hallway. Okay. Now we have our flooring, we have our transition areas, and we have our call outs. Next, you want to create a legend with squares, nice good size squares, at least 1 inch by 1 inch, where you have the hatch of the item inside the square. This helps us to identify, oh, I see that speckles, that must be this one. Oh, I see that tile, that must go here. It helps to indicate, communicate to the contractor. Here, there's a wood planking tile, and we have the call out next to it and the name of the tile, like wood vinyl or wood tile. This could say, you know, a pattern. Just kind of describe it. I have it very generic, but describe it a little. Beige carpet helps them to identify the material, especially when there's several different kinds of material. So you've got this beautiful legend. Make sure that you're putting your legend, all lettering should be in all capitals. All architectural lettering is in all capitals. Don't get lazy and try to make sure everything is nice and neat. And also in the title blocks. nice and neat using a straight edge. So now you've got this beautiful little legend. You've got all of your really cool design and your hatches in all the spaces. The next thing we want to do is to create a transition detail. How are we going to do that? Well, we're going to put a circle right here. Okay. We are going to put a circle right here, and it's going to be a dashed line all the way around. Okay, oops. Dashed line all the way around. Okay, that dashed line right there at that transition from your carpet to the wood flooring. Then we create and we want to pull out a line with another circle on it. Okay, and we are going to put A, and that stands for detail A. And what we're basically doing is taking a zoom lens and zooming into this area and creating a transition. And so what I would recommend is do what I didn't do, is push this legend way down here, which I should have done. I should have done that. So I am going to kind of move my legend down here. Okay, we'll just pretend it's a little more room here, because I want to create a detail up here, right here in the corner. And it's going to say A, right there in the corner, right here. And you're going to say transition detail right here. Trans detail. And I want you to think, what is the thickness of your carpet? What's the thickness of your vinyl? And put one of those transition strips you saw in the video. I've also attached it, transition strips to modular, the modular 12. You have an actual handout. And we want to do this at 1-inch scale. So you're going to put, in this case, I've got wood over here. I have a gap, and over here I have carpet. Looks like this. Okay? And in between, I have that mushroom looking transition strip. And we'll make this wood. And this is carpet. And you're going to put the call out on it. This is going to be W1. And here, this will be carpet 1. And actually, we just won't make it to scale. We'll just blow it up, and I'll let you kind of figure it out. This is for the installer. And normally and kind of, if this is wood, we do kind of a diagonal hatch line, creating that little mushroomy thing. So what you're seeing here is wood flooring in the right, and we need to know how thick that is. So your dimension, how thick that is, the carpet on the other side, and the transition strip. This is called a transition detail. And you have several samples in your in the demo lectures, or in the lectures. And I am giving you a little transition strip guide that you can print, and just do your best and try to create a little detail that would communicate what is going on there. And if we were going further in this, I'd have you specify the actual transition strip you're using, because sometimes you need to use one that is lower and higher than the other, depending on the thickness of your material. And this is all to create that nice bridged gap that we talked about. And so when you go back to the lecture, really pay attention. Maybe you have to go back and review and see, how am I going to transition? I'm sure this drawing will be fantastic. Pick your flooring. That's why you're sending me flooring pictures. Add your transitions. Add your call-outs. Hatch it all in and make it beautiful. Create a legend with the little legend boxes, call-outs, and a beautiful detail by putting a dash circle here, pulling it, another circle that says A. It represents detail A, and now you have A here, and we know exactly what we're looking at. This will guarantee a very good install for your clients. Hope this helps, and can't wait to talk to you at the next Zoom meeting.